Hi guys, just a quick video on creating storyboards. Storyboards are a great way of displaying reports in a PowerPoint format. So what we'll do today is just demonstrate how to do that. So everyone should have access to the Create button, and if we just go click on Create, we have a couple of different options: Dashboard tab, which we'll cover off in a different video, or a Storyboard. So in this one, we can click on Storyboard, and what it asks us for is a title for the storyboard. So I'm just going to call this Brad's Test Storyboard. We get to add a subtitle or a description, so just make that appropriate, and we also get to pick a theme. Now there's a number of themes which come out of the box. If you'd like to create your own theme, you also have the option of doing that, which could be branded for your particular diocese. So in this case, we're going to just use the last one here, which is that sort of storyboard theme. Next, what we need to do in the storyboard is create a few slides. So if you click on slide and we click on new, we're going to create a section to start off with, and the first section that we're going to create is actually, before we create a section, what I'm going to do is create a table of contents. So this will just be a bit of an overview of what we're going to cover off, and it will automatically populate according to the content that you put inside the storyboard. So I'll show you that a little bit later. But if we create a new slide, this time I'm just going to create a slide with a bit of content. So we've got our contents page. Next thing, sections, I should say, is what we're going to create. We're going to call this student census data, and I'm not going to put a subtitle in. If you want to create a subtitle, you can. Also, if you'd like to pick a color for your section, I'm just going to stick with the default color of blue, and we're going to add that in. So we've got student census data. Now the next thing to do is create another new slide, and we can create that with a little bit of content this time. And this time I'm going to look at student enrollments over time. Again, if I'd like a subtitle, I could do that. And the important thing about storyboards is that you've already created a lot of the reports that you need for the storyboard. So all we're doing is putting reports onto or putting existing reports onto the storyboard. So on the left hand side, I'm going to search for a few different charts. Now you can use an advanced search. In this case, I know a lot of my content is under the student reports and student census reports, and I could just do oops, I've missed that. I could just do a search on that. So we might want to let's have a look down here. What sort of report? It sort of gives you some thumbnails to give you an idea of what reports might be available. This one, I'm going to pick a student census enrollment report, and you can start to play around with this layout. So what I'm going to do here is I might put my text up the top, so I can just click and drag that, and I might make this a little bit bigger, maybe make this a little bit smaller, and I can enter some text along the top. So I could say student enrollments since 1998 until 2015, or whatever text you would like to add in there. Now you can format that text, so if I want to make that bold, I could click on that. I could put links in here and add bullet points and dot points. All that sort of stuff is available within this format as well. So now that I've got my student enrollment trend since 1998, I could add another slide in. So what I might want to do is a new slide again. Again, if I just want to put text, I could. If I want to put an image, a quote that's just similar, very similar to text. In this case, I might just put a rich content only. So if I click on the rich content, and I might look at student enrollments by year level. Now I've already created this report again, so I'm going to search for this report on the left hand side here, and I might search for year level. Let's see what comes up, and we're going to look under the national. And you can see here you get some little tooltips up. So this is a student census enrollment by year level report. I can drag that on there, and I'm just going to make that a bit bigger so we can expand this out, and I'm also going to make it a little bit bigger here. So this is giving me the enrollments by year level. So again, we can add a number of these slides in with all different content across it, and the process is repeatable. So what we can do here is maybe add a new slide in. Maybe I'd like a new section, and this section I might give a different color. Maybe I'll give it green, and this might be staff census that I'd like to do now. So I'll just add that in. I'll get a green color. I'll add a new bit of content, and I'll call this staff headcount over time. So we just create that. Again, you can enter some text, and you can add a report in. So I'm just going to search for this report. So actually I don't have access under that folder, so I need to change to the staff reports, staff census, and I'm just going to see what reports are available there. I'll just get rid of year level because it's filtering on that still. And let me scroll down here, and I'm after a report with headcount. And remember, I saved it as headcount. Let's have a look. Staff headcount. It doesn't really matter which report we pick here. Let me just scroll down. Here's the one I'm after. Great. So I'll just drag that on. And again, you can format this so you can have your report down the bottom and some text up the top. I'll make the text a little bit smaller. So again, just continually go through, add your sections in, and add your reports in as required. Now the power of this tool is that you can add global filters in across all the different key reporting areas that you'd like to do. So what we can do is go right back to the start, and what we're going to do is click on Storyboard and Global Filters. Now it says these filters are already available from the Student Enrollment Trend Report. Would you like to use these? So yep, I'm going to use the diocese, the campus, the cluster, the school. I'm not going to worry about gender and ATSE status, and I might add in year level as well. So you can see as soon as I add those in, these links come up as a red cross. That just means that if I use my filters at the moment, they won't be associated to these reports. So the way to associate it is to click on this link, and we can click on filter diocese, and you just map these up. So diocese, campus region, what we can do is a cluster, then we can go into the school, campus. I didn't link up the ATSE stuff, but you can add year level, and we can click save. So you can see that's got a tick on it now. The next one that I want to do is staff enrollment headcount. So Again, I'll just go through the exact same process. So I click on filter, and we're going to associate it with the diocese, the campus, the cluster, the school, the campus, and the year level. In this case, we don't have a year level, so again, you can choose not to associate it, so we can do no association, and I'm just going to click save. That just means that if I filter on year level, it's not going to apply to that particular report. Alrighty, so we've got our global filter set up, and I can just close that. And now you notice on the left hand side I have a whole heap of filters available. Now if I'd like to filter on a particular school, I can click on a school and click go. I can save these applied filters if I want. In this case I'm not going to. And basically what will happen is the data in the report will be reflective of the filters that I've picked on the left hand side. Once you're happy with your storyboard, you can save a copy of that. So if I go up to save, so storyboard save, and where I'm going to save this is under, I might save this one under student demographics, diocese specific. I'm just going to call this Brad test. You can either activate it, which will mean everyone who has access to that particular folder and the reports would have access to this dashboard. So or this storyboard. So the other thing to make note of is that security would apply to all users of this. So for example, if you're if you can see all the schools within your diocese and you wanted to share this storyboard with someone at a particular school, they would only see data for their particular school. So what we're going to do is just activate that one, and away we go. We've got our storyboard. You'll notice on the table of contents, this has been updated, and I've got my name, Brad Test Storyboard. We've got our student census data, our enrollment data, and headcount stuff. So we can either just use this as a slideshow through by clicking the forward and back button, and the data will be reflective. Now we can go right back to the start of this, expand the menu out, click on the filters and click a particular school and just go click on go, and now all the data is reflective of that school. So you can see the enrollment trends have changed according to the school that I've selected. So staff census. So that's basically how you create storyboards. Again, if I want to go back and tomorrow I would like to select a different school, or if I wanted to select more than one school, I could do that too. So in this case, we might just select one more school just to show you that the numbers have changed. And if we just click through that, and the enrollment numbers have changed. Finally, I can either mark this as a favorite. I can go back in and edit this storyboard if I need to change anything on it, or I could share it with particular people. So again, just click on the share button. I could add a recipient in here, and maybe I'd like to save this or share this with maybe David Jenkins, and I might want to add a comment in here. Hi David, please look at this storyboard I put together. And I could just click OK, and that would send off to him. I won't do that for this purpose. The last thing I can do is export it. Now exporting it makes it fairly static, and it will just do it in a PDF. It will just download locally to your machine. So if I just click on export, then again it'll just download to my machine, and now I've got a PDF version of the storyboard that I've just created. So if I just sort of scroll through that, it's just a static version of all the different reports that I've put together in the storyboard. So that's all I'd like to cover today. If you got any questions, definitely contact us at data services at cnet.catholic.edu.au. All right, thanks for your time.